so at this point, I'm sure you've heard basically all the conversations surrounding this keyboard, but my goal isn't to talk about the common features like what it comes with and why you should or should not get it. But I think what I want to talk about is my experience with it and what I would recommend you do based off of the value and why it matters. Oh, and hi and welcome. Thanks for clicking on this video. I've been building keyboards for 6 years and I've been in the e-com industry for the last 5. So basically what I'm saying is that I feel like I have a little bit of background knowledge and experience to talk about why I think the value is there or not there in this case for this keyboard, and what should dictate that, and why I think you should buy it and when you should buy it. So normally the AULA 75 comes in at around $75 on the base model and around $85 for the Pro model, which is what I have here. The interesting thing is that both Epilmaker and AULA sell this product in the same way on Amazon. So they have the same exact listing and they sell it for the same price, I think, but more on that later. Overall, the keyboard itself is not too bad. The housing is an ABS plastic housing. It's pretty dense, not bad. Has decent dampening, and it comes with pretty okay switches as well. The one thing I'll say is that I'm not sure why the normal version comes with north-facing LEDs and the Pro version comes with south-facing LEDs, and we'll talk a little bit more about that later as well. The only other difference that I want to mention is that the Pro version has side-printed keycaps as opposed to the normal one, which has top-printed normal standard keycaps. And finally, it's pretty easy to pick up. You can get it on Amazon or any other third-party websites. Amazon's pretty great because you have the customer protection and you can return it whenever you want. Oh, and by the way, I picked up this keyboard, the Pro model specifically, with my own money to give you the most honest and direct kind of experience that I had. So if you enjoy this video and you feel like you got some value out of it, please like and subscribe, and that helps a ton with the YouTube algorithm. Thanks. Okay, awesome. So now you have some of the basic details. Now let's talk about what's behind the curtain. So AULA is a Chinese supplier, and I've actually talked to them in the past when I was sourcing keyboards myself, and they make a ton of different products and keyboards. Usually they're pretty standard quality. They're not bad, they're not amazing, but pretty good. They're a pretty decent supplier, and what I think that they're offering with this keyboard isn't necessarily amazing, but it's pretty good value. It's not bad. The one thing I actually kind of find funny, and I mentioned this before, is that they sell directly to Epilmaker and they have the same listing when they sell on Amazon. And when I was sourcing myself, that's one of the reasons that I didn't want to purchase from them, because I don't want to compete with the manufacturer directly. It's kind of a silly process that they have. Okay, so the real question is, knowing all these details and all the context behind it, does it make this keyboard worth the money? Real quick, let's talk about how I look at value and what exactly it is that I define out of quote unquote value, and why you'll see some of my other videos like the Ready 75 saying things like, oh, that's a great value keyboard. Okay, so the way that I define it is, what experience do I get for the money that I pay? This is obviously different for every person, so draw your own conclusions, but just wanted to share that. So when it came to the AULA, everything from the unboxing to the typing experience to the accessories that I got with the keyboard, I felt just wasn't necessarily worth the price tag that I paid for it. I paid the MSRP price of $85 for it on Amazon. Generally speaking though, I don't think it lived up to the experience that I expected out of that. Now, that doesn't mean that I don't buy expensive keyboards. I mean, just take a look at this keyboard right here, which is the QK75N. And that keyboard all in all cost something like $350 to $400 after I got the switches and the keycaps. But in this case, with the $85 price tag, I just didn't see how it was justified. This also goes into the difference between the Pro version and the standard version. The only substantial difference that there is between the two is that the Pro version has south-facing LEDs as opposed to north-facing. There's a set switches that they put on the Pro version, and it has different keycaps. Okay, so from the production standpoint, that necessarily shouldn't cause that much of a price difference, and I think they just tried to make it look pro for the sake of marketing, but I don't think that that was a great decision on their part. Also, I think they intentionally did that with the south-facing LEDs portion of it because they know enthusiasts look for that, and that's what's important when you're trying to switch your keycaps, for instance. Okay, but here's 3 reasons that I just didn't really feel the value. The packaging. I mean, the box itself is kind of low quality. It doesn't really offer much to it. And it just kind of came in a standard type of box that, I don't know, you can get basically anywhere. And I know that it wasn't an expensive box. I've sourced these myself before. And I just don't think that when I'm paying $85, the experience should be that kind of, you know, mid-tier. Honestly, you don't see fancy packaging at this price point, but at the very least, I felt like they could do a little bit better. Okay, let's talk about the tools. So as you saw in the unpacking, it comes with a standard cable, comes with 2 switches and a keycap puller, and I think basically every keyboard does that at this point. And I'm not expecting them to give you like top of the line tools, but at this price point, I felt like they could have either done a braided cable or something a little bit more high quality to justify the Pro tag on it, but also a difference of $15 to $20 between the normal version and the Pro version. Okay, let's talk about the keyboard itself, right? It's not bad for what it is, and it comes in this plastic housing, but I don't necessarily think that that's worth the price. And I think that they justify this by saying, oh, it's like a lightweight keyboard, it's great for competitive gaming, whatever. Genuinely though, from my perspective, I think there are way better options when you're pushing something like $90. And let's just look at the Rainy 75, right? This is a baseline $99 keyboard, and it comes with a full aluminum case. It's heavy, it has heft to it. The packaging experience is completely different, and the price point isn't that much different. Overall, when looking at this board, the MSRP is just not what I would pay for it. But that's not to say that there's not any value in this board. Remember, what I look for and when I define value is what experience am I getting versus what money am I paying for it. So the Pro actually goes down to a sale price of around $70 to $65 every now and again. I think that's actually the best time to pick it up. $65 is a pretty good deal for what comes in the box. As for the base model, it's usually sitting at around a $65 price point on Amazon, but I've seen occasional sales on the likes of Epilmaker's website when they drop the price when they have a little bit too much inventory. So take a look out for that and pick it up when it's lower than 60 bucks if you ever see that. Now, if it were me, I would probably aim to pick up the Pro version, primarily because of the south-facing LEDs. I switch out my keycaps and my switches pretty often, so if I wanted to swap something out and I wanted to have see-through keycaps, or I just wanted to have better RGB glow-through, that's probably what I would look for. It's also a little bit frustrating that they didn't include this on the base model because it's not that much more expensive. In fact, the price shouldn't be that different in the PCB side of things, so this is obviously done very intentionally. Either way, if you're picking up the base model, I would pick it up for $65 and under. It's not a bad deal, it's not a great deal, but it's not bad. Okay, so my final recommendation, pick up the Pro model when you see it on sale for less than $70 or so, and I think that's probably the best time and the best value that you would get out of this keyboard if you really wanted the AULA 75. One additional note is that if you're looking for the highest value keyboard and you're not necessarily tied to the AULA itself, I think that you should definitely just pick up the Rainy 75, right? This keyboard is substantially better. It offers way more for what you're paying for it, $99 difference, right? So you're paying something like $15 to $20 more on the AULA 75, but the experience that you get out of it is just so substantially better. You get way more high quality materials, get better switches, and you have a way better build. Okay, so let me know in the comments if this was helpful, if you have any recommendations, or if you think that something that I said here was not true or inaccurate. I'm always happy to take any criticism or feedback, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video and look forward to the next one. Thanks, bye.